thank you for taking us through what the trust space looked like before, which is very vanilla. I think it was easier for tax practitioners as well. Just set up these trusts, put in all the assets, Bob's your uncle. But now there is this increased surveillance. And in terms of the new regulatory and legislative environment with trusts, if you can just give us, we'll of course unpack this, but what does it look like now?
Basically, I think the key word here is transparency. That's what I think the legislature and the regulatory authorities are looking for. Transparency. So no more hiding behind the trust,
Yes.
The authorities really want to see who the warm body behind the trust is, who actually controls it. What does the trust own? You'll see also, just as an example, in the new trust returns, there's a lot of new declarations that need to be made in terms of trust assets, vesting rights, and the like.
True. So there's a lot of transparency now with regards to trust, and that's something that trustees are grappling with now, tax advisors are grappling with now, because there's this increased focus. And as you mentioned, SARS and all the other entities, your SIPCs and your masters, they want to drill down to the warm body.
Exactly.
Who is the person behind this, and just removing this veil of secrecy that trusts had in the past. But thank you very much for that. And then just in terms of anti-money laundering and financing terrorism, what is your view on how the FATF has now brought trusts into the scope with regards to fighting this?
So I think, one of the recommendations of the FATF were that South African authorities don't have accurate and timely access to beneficial ownership information in respect of trusts. And if we look at best practice internationally, usually beneficial ownership declarations are required in a lot of jurisdictions. So I think it's quite an important and quite a big step towards proper compliance and so forth from an international perspective, by bringing us up to that standard in terms of beneficial ownership declarations and transparency.
That's great. And of course, we do know that other countries, have been on the grey list, and they have, about 20 or so months, some of them 24 months, some of them came off. So we do see that there is merit in both trustees and those that set up trusts to assist South Africa to get off the grey list as soon as possible.
Exactly.
By being as transparent as possible. Do you have anything to add to that? Just some advice for, taxpayers or tax practitioners with regards to that?
I think that's a very good point you made over there, and I think it's compliance starts with you, basically. By all of us, or trustees and beneficiaries, ensuring proper compliance, we're all sort of contributing towards the transparency requirements that we're subject to, and that will ultimately assist the country in, perhaps getting off of the grey list sooner rather than later.